Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of Issliss Season 1. My name is Veronica Ripley, and I'm very happy to have you here. If you have not yet done so, please be sure to follow us here at twitch.tv. We stream the show live every Friday at noon Pacific, that's 3 p.m. Eastern. We also have a Discord server where you can learn a lot more about Issliss and our other shows, like Enigma Society, our brand new kind of like comedy mystery show that happens every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have podcasts available everywhere podcasts are consumed. Recently, we just added it to the Apple Podcast Network, so that's there. We've got a merch store as well, so pick yourself up a cool bowling shirt or a sweet hoodie. And I just want to give a very special thank you to the lovely folks over at Logitech. Logitech has been a wonderful sponsor of today's show and consistently is one of the leaders in peripherals and technology for streamers and gamers alike. You can check out the brand new Yeti GX, the Litra Beam LX, and the Yeti Orb at logi.gg/nicotine. That's Nikatine, and be sure to use nicotine at checkout for 10% off. So it's a great deal. Check it out today. Big thanks to Logitech for sponsoring today's stream. I would like to introduce the cast, but before I do, our live Twitch audience here, I'm gonna need your help. A big thank you to everybody who has subscribed just now. That's delightful. Thank you. I'm gonna need your help. And when we introduce the cast, we're going to ask each member for their name and their character's name. And I want you, our live audience, to just give me a ones in chat if everybody sounds good, or twos if they don't, okay? So we're gonna start things off with Candacethemagnificent.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Hi. What's your character's name?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Already forgot. My character's name is Grizz, and they are sneaky and tricky and like to talk themselves out of problems, which is familiar to me.
Fantastic. Next up, Domesticdan.
Hello there, I'm Domesticdan. I play Leaf, son of Leaf, here in Issliss. Happy little tracking hound boy.
Fantastic. And last but not least, we've got Chelseabytes.
Hi, it's me, Chelseabytes. I'm me, just really loud, but I play Pippet, who is very repressed. Let's just be real. The battle medic who is here to slice your problems in half. That's me.
Fantastic. Okay, sweet. It looks like we have ones across the board, so I think we're good to begin. Where we last left off, the party cell had exited in the absolute coolest way possible this cave, which was on fire. It was full of cultists and people who had been burned, people who were committing some horrible ritual. And it was Pippet who walked out last, like the kind of person like walking away from an explosion, just flames lapping at the sides of this cavern, this ancient cavern with statues of Tisk drilled and carved out of the walls. You could hear yelling and screaming, cursing from behind you, slowly getting less and less frequent. As you step out onto this precipice high above Coward's Pass, you can see before you the Dursta mountain range extending farther than any of you can see. As the sun rises just over the Dursta mountains, it blinds you a little bit and you're struck by that sense of cold air stinging your lungs, that type of cold that just burns inside when you take a deep breath. The mountains around you are black. There's occasional caps of snow across the Dursta mountains much higher than you, but you, above Coward's Pass, this canyon carved, barely even considered a pass by any normal standards, more of a hazard really, is just black, the kinds of rocks that are crumbly and small and slippery, some of them quite shiny, shimmering like obsidian. And far off in the distance to the south, you can see the smoke remnants of a camp. Just being cleared away from the evening.
Oh, that was really hot. Do y'all see that?
The old
South is. I was gonna ask, is the south where we just came from?
The south is where you just came from. That's right. In fact, you can see a map here on the on Foundry, which we're using for a VTT this time around. You traveled from Arcadia Farms to along this irrigation canal all the way up to Baldwin's Folly, and now you've begun to make your way through Coward's Pass. You're about a third of the way through Coward's Pass.
Okay, so if there's a camp behind us from the way we came, Pippet's going to assume that we're being followed, that there's somebody on our trail. Would that be the right assumption?
That is a very fair assumption, yes.
Okay, I'll go get pliers. We need to move.
Because it's only been like a few minutes since we just had our big explosion, so we need to get out of here. I know we made tons of noise. Or our big fire. We gotta get out of here. The smoke's gonna come out of this cave pretty soon.
You look and look, but you can't find Pliers. Pliers is nowhere to be seen.
Pliers?
I think he's in his barrel. He had a safety barrel that he was in, and maybe that's where he could be, but that's inside. I thought I saw him with us.
He did run out with us, but did he slip away to... I don't even know. That one is hard to keep track of.
Well, maybe Pliers made a tactical retreat. And if I know Pliers, they're very strategical. So if they saw the camp, they would have gone away from it. So we should go away from the camp.
Oh yes, most definitely. We are very likely being tracked.
I quite agree. It could be that same corpseman.
Leaf, could you
Skunk,
make me...
was it?
Leaf, could you make me a bushcraft check?
Of course. Let's see here. That's proficient plus 6. Okay. Wow, that's 11. I rolled about as low as I can.
You see from the sheer amount of smoke that it must be a party of a great size. A larger than average number of people are just about a day behind you.
That's a very large camp. Like, very large. That's a hunting party. I don't know why they'd send that many people after us immediately.
I don't think I want to find out.
No. No, that's definitely not a good thing to tussle with. Well, there was the city.
While Leaf is talking, and sorry to interrupt, Leaf.
Oh, you're good.
I'm gonna start scribbling on a note, and I'm gonna leave it in a. It'll be very discreet. It won't be something obvious like we went that way, but it'll definitely be something that Pliers understands. I want to see if I can flavor this. Since Pliers is like a tinker, but they also work in like biomechanics, could I leave it in like a med code? That's something Pliers would understand, just in case Pliers doesn't come back around. And I'll leave it in Pliers' barrel.
That is interesting. Yeah. What depends. What do you intend to leave? That's an interesting idea. I like it.
we left in just the direction that we went. Not necessarily where we're going, but like we went north. Something like that.
And how do you leave this note?
I'll take out the journal or the paper and the ink that we got. And I'll say, Dear Pliers, your assistance is required north. Please head there as quickly as possible. Just literally that. I don't know how I'd flavor that in like med terms, but I'd probably say, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Just to throw them off the scent.
Sure.
Your biomechanic skills are required north, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
You know who left this.
You just want to make it as complicated like as possible.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
As
that type deal.
as can be.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
exactly.
sure, you, absolutely. And you leave this inside of the barrel then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. It's easy. You just carve it out. You have a little implement. You just carve it right out, and easy. What now?
Okay. We should go. Did everybody get their things?
I think so, yeah.
I have everything ready, but it looks like we might need something like a sled to get down this.
Quite right.
And do we find it? Is there anything that we can use to get down that we know about, or?
You have some ropes. Don't you have pickaxes?
Yes.
I've got my pickaxe, and I usually
I picked
have,
one up too.
I'm fairly certain one of you had
That's
a
right.
climbing kit as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's on my sheet, but I know we've talked about it.
I wonder if Pliers took it.
Oh.
I don't.
Well, he
don't
shoulda
think
used it.
so.
I think
No, probably
Flyers
not.
does have it because
tell
he's
you
not
what.
good at climbing.
Leaf, why don't you
Yeah.
roll me a 1d6?
That will do.
Anything above a 3 and you have it in your
Okay.
inventory.
Well, let's hope so. Or I forgot it somewhere, or it was taken from me in a... 4. Very good.
Okay,
All right,
yeah, you have it.
I have my climbing gear. Well, if that's the case, I'll start getting it set up so I can have the rope attached and brought down. I'll go last so I can do the little pull out the pylon and move the rope down with me, so I'm not leaving an obvious trail of climbing gear.
Sure, that makes sense. It's not a sheer cliff, by the way. It's just very
even better.
heavily sloped. Like it's steep, but it's not sheer. Like it won't require you to necessarily do a lot of hardcore like rock climbing. You don't have to practice at a rock gym to do this. However, even though it's sloped and very steep, the rocks are still crumbly and they're still slippery, and every so often your foot just causes like a little mini rock slide, just like a tiny one. It's almost like trying to climb up a sand dune, like a just a gritty sand dune. Every so often. I would like everybody to make me a climbing check.
Okay. Okay.
Let's shout out what you get.
I got a 10. Due to the fact that I'm wearing armor and all my bonuses are gone.
7.
Okay.
All right. Pipit got an 11.
Oh wow. You only rolled a 2d6 too. You're not even got an 11. That's great. You did better than Leaf with the
Honestly,
climbing gear.
This is the second time. I should just go and put points into climbing. It's always good.
So yeah, Leaf, you have your climbing gear and you've got a little belay, you've got your harness, and you're slowly letting out some rope to get down. Pipit is at your side and passing you, completely unafraid.
Yeah, that's great. It's always nice to see a good climber.
Grizz, you are right above Leaf. And your foot slips. A small rock avalanche, small rock slide begins pummeling you in the face, Leaf.
It doesn't look
I'm so
like
sorry.
You're fine. Here, maybe let me and I do one of those like clip over onto the side to kind of get out of the way so Gliz can move past me, because I do want to remove the evidence of climbing on the
Sure.
way down.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that way I'm also above and have the security of the top of the rope so that, yeah, hopefully no one sleeps.
Grizz, your foot slipped, but it's difficult to find another spot, and your fingers are beginning to be a little numb, especially from the cold and the slipperiness in general of the rocks. It's difficult to find a purchase anywhere. What do you do?
So I have farming equipment. I feel like in my head it's like a the thing you use for hay.
A hoe?
A scythe or a sickle?
No, like a pitchfork.
Oh, a pitchfork.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe something like smaller. Probably nothing like huge because I'm, traveling.
Yeah, like a trowel.
Yeah, can I like just dig that into the side to try and slow my descent so I'm not just like bouncing down this hill?
Yeah, make me another climb check, but add an extra +4 to it.
Okay.
$14. Okay, yeah, you use that thing, you stake it right into the side of the cliff, and it too slides a little bit down, but it feels like it's maybe not gonna slide anymore. You're very precarious.
Oh, thank heavens. Not today, please.
You alright?
Trying to be? I mean,
All
we
right.
faced off against extremists, so I think I should at least be able to handle a mountain, right?
Alright. Very good. Here, you move past me. I'm going to be removing the clips as we go down.
Yes, just let me fall to my death. I don't want to take you out with me.
Alright. I move to the side.
No problem. Pippin, you've seen a few rocks fall to your right. They're sliding down a little bit. It's news to you. They're a little further away. You can't exactly tell what's going on up there. What do you do?
I keep going down. I just assume that that's like, and that's the way it, like that's it.
Yeah, okay.
So I just keep going.
Okay. All right. The sun is chasing you guys just barely. It seems that Leaf and Grizz, you're just sort of perpetually only halfway in sunlight as you're going down the side of this cliff at the same rate that the sun is rising over the Dursta Mountains, and just one half of you is extremely cold. You can't even be warmed by the sun. The wind is getting a little less harsh, but you're still frigid. I'll need one more climb check from you, Leaf.
Of course. Much better. 12.
Okay. Yeah, you manage. You manage to rappel a little bit further and further, and after some time, all three of you manage to get all the way down to what can only be described as the most remote, worst kept path you've ever seen. It's far less of a road and more of just a This is a road that runs on vibes.
Yep. Like
Alright.
me. Eternally.
Okay. Is everybody all right?
Yes, and I'd be wrapping the rope up and clipping things back where they go.
And I look up. Is it snowing?
It's not snowing. In fact, it's pretty bright out. It's a
bright, okay.
sunny day here
Okay.
at elevation. You're pretty high up in Coward's Pass. It's also sort of a mountain, and you're surrounded on to your right and left by mountains. And before you lies more mountains, but it's seems that there's sort of a, like, more like a hiking trail, basically.
Okay.
And behind you is you can still see that plume of smoke getting less and less as though it's being extinguished.
We should cover our tracks.
Oh, absolutely. It's part of why I was removing the gear as we went. I can go behind us and try to cover our trails as we move forward.
We should do that. I'm not sure if there's a way that we should walk, or you tell us best how to do that. But we should start heading further into Coward's Pass.
And I'm asking the TM if that's where we're going.
Behind you is the path towards Baldwin's Folly, towards Arcadia, and the mysterious plume of smoke that's being extinguished. But before you lies a trail to what I think... Have we already decided which of you would... Do any of you know where this goes? Did we make this check last time? I actually can't remember. Which one of your characters made this?
I don't know if we made a check for it even.
I don't think you were there.
I think it was...
Oh, I
think
may
it
not
was
have been
me.
there. Ah, yes,
I think it was you,
Okay, yeah.
Grizz.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it was me for lore because we were talking about where these people could have come from.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
So I know we're going to Roustera, right?
You're going to Reed's Redown at the foothills of the Durston Mountains. Coward's Pass isn't on any maps, but Reed's Redoubt is what you remember to be just north of here.
So I look to Grizz. And I say,
I think...
you think?
Oh, no, just... I was going to say I think we should go to... just keep heading in that direction, because that's where that flumph was, I believe. That came from the farms out there.
Yes. You guide us, I'll lead the way.
And we'll start walking.
I think guide is a strong, strong word, but I'll do my best.
We'll figure it out.
So you begin...
Yeah, so I think I just move forward.
Sure. You begin to make your way through this narrow mountain pass. The rocks here are crumbly and shiny black, sharper than anything that you've ever seen. It's difficult to avoid scratches and just cuts. If you lose your balance, you don't want to put your hands out because they'll just get torn to ribbons. The cold is a little bit worse down here. It's completely shaded still, even though it's beginning to be mid-morning. And even though it's like a bright sunny day out, the sun hasn't been able to heat anything here yet. You can see one of the moons, though, beginning to rise over the Durston Mountains. And maybe in some deep part of you wishes that it could warm you, but it does not. There aren't any trees here. There's no vegetation. You don't even find bushes or scrubs. There doesn't appear to be any life here, which makes Pliers' story about something eating the body a little suspect. But you continue. And at long last, you manage to find what you believe to be the top of Coward's Pass, the highest point in elevation. It's about noon, and finally the sun has peeked over the mountains, and you can absorb a little bit of that precious warmth.
Ugh.
Man,
We can't
How are
bask too
you?
long, but this is quite nice after that blistering heat and horrific cold, right?
how long do we even have?
I wish I knew that much.
I don't know.
Can we start to try to, like, figure out how long this journey might be?
Yeah, I think you would probably know that the highest point of these mountains has to be further than about halfway through. So you're probably at least halfway, probably more.
Okay. So we'd say, like, Another half day. Another day.
Probably another half day or so.
And it's already noon. Okay. We should do a short rest. And I think a short rest could that be like a couple of hours?
Well, let's take a look.
Let's look.
So, the rules for sleeping and relaxing and making shelter all sort of fall under stress reduction. It's a mechanic in Issliss which is designed to allow party members a little bit of respite, but also allow you the chance to craft some things or to reduce that painful level of stress. The short period that you may be wanting to take will depend on like what you guys want to do. How long?
Okay.
Like what do you want to do here, Pippet?
I want to eat
Okay, sure.
whatever we got.
Leaf,
Yeah.
what do you want to do here?
If I notice people are hungry,
You'll notice.
Am I-
You notice.
yeah, then
Pippet's not
I
making
mean,
a secret out of it.
yeah, then I can work on some food of some kind. I don't know if we even have.
I offer up one of my traveling meals that we found with 12.
There we go. Because
Okay.
I did not. All right.
And Grizz, what do you want to do here?
I think I'm going to change out of this brother's spine robe and just put it in my pack.
Oh, that's an
Because-
excellent point. Are you guys all still wearing these robes?
I am,
Okay.
but if
Yeah, I'm going to
If
shimmy
Grizz
on out
tells
of
me,
mine.
yeah, if I see Grizz taking that off, I'll look down and say, that makes sense. And I'll switch back into my other clothes. And I'll put on my armor.
Okay.
I have 2 pieces of armor.
Go ahead and apply it.
Got
And
it.
Leaf, are you still wearing... Did you put one of those robes on at all?
I did have the robe, but yeah, I'll take that off. The armor pieces were underneath it because I did have that on already.
Okay, sure.
Um,
It'll take you guys about, I'll say 3 hours to... Oh, we'll say 2 hours to build a fire, make some food, and conduct any relaxation that might help lower your stress. Are any of you... What are your stress levels at right now? Grizz, what's your stress?
I only have 1 stress.
Leaf, how about you?
I've got 2.
Okay, sure. So, yeah. You guys, go ahead. Leaf, go ahead and make me a bushcraft check. Is it bushcraft
Absolutely.
that handles crafting a fire?
Yeah, bushcraft is fire, bushcraft is food.
Okay, good. Go ahead and make me that.
Okie doke. $18.
Okay. Fire in Issliss is a very difficult thing to obtain. The qualities of fire in Issliss at best are smoldering embers. Without the addition of some substances, fires will only ever be embers or small low flames. You may have in your inventories things that could help make this fire outstanding.
Would
Yeah.
weevil oil do?
I think, Pippet, you would know certainly that weevil oil would do.
I hand it to Leaf and say, this should help.
Yes, however, I think that's a bad idea. We're being tracked. We saw their smoke, they'll see ours. This will make a lot of smoke.
I'm hungry, Leaf.
It will take a little time. I can get you the food. It's just not going to be hot. It will be warm.
Leaf, you'll know as an expert bushcrafter that if you do apply that weevil oil, you could have that food in a third of the time.
Or a third of the time with a lot of smoke.
That's right.
Yeah, no, Leaf is willing to take some time to. He's a tracker. That's what he does, and he knows it will be just a nice big target for where we are.
That's right.
And
Leaf,
that's a large
please.
group. Yeah, I'd rather not be hunted. I appreciate the help, though, and he hands it back to you. Like,
I
this
take
is.
it back.
This is Leaf going, deal with it. I don't feel like dying because you want to eat.
Painfully. Puts it back.
He's got the small fire. He's like, you know
like-
the whole foiled dinner idea? He's doing that, but probably with some leaves and just kind of like setting it there so they can warm up slowly as he's maybe got himself in a nice relaxing position to relax while it just slowly cooks.
Great. Grizz, are you doing anything related to lowering stress or lowering other people's stress?
I think I'm gonna use socialize
Okay, sure.
because that's just a general skill. I think.
The rules in Issliss
Just like
yeah, absolutely. For socializing, they go as follows. Using your persuasion skills appropriate for the interaction, chatting and goofing off with others or animals is enough to reduce some stress. Some abilities may also improve your interactions or expand the effects. A DC check of 13 will result in -1 stress for you. However, if you conduct things like a performance, a DC check of 15 will give -1 stress. DC of 18 will give a -1 stress for everyone.
So I have
Love
to
that.
perform in order to get everyone, but I can do just myself with a persuasion.
Yeah, unless you have some ability. You may... Do you have an ability for that?
I don't.
Okay.
I think I took other things. Yes. I'm just not trained in performance, and I feel like last time I wasn't so good at it. But we're gonna try it today.
You're all about to hear another horrifying story from Grizz. Here we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be miserable. Apologies in advance.
Oh, no.
No.
What is that? Is that a 9?
That's a 9.
Oh.
So Chris is like, do you remember that time we were in a cave and there were those people and they almost burned us alive like rascals? It was terrible. Do you feel any better?
That was like 2 hours ago and a pretty harrowing experience.
Right, but
Yeah.
I mean we're alive, right? Most of us, anyway.
It's quite recent.
Ah.
You know?
Yes, I'll work.
You know,
on
I
it.
was the last one out.
Yes.
Flames got a lot bigger when y'all left. I think that guy's flesh started melting off even more now that I think about it.
Yes, like a candle. It
I'd
was
still see
horrifying.
some leftover blood spatters on Leaf.
Right.
I'll get better at telling stories. I will. I'll get so good. Where are those dice?
Oh God.
Okay, is this all you guys do here? You
Yeah.
eat some food? Okay, so who ate food?
I
Everybody ate food?
think I try to like fan Leaf as well while he's cooking and he's like hunched over the open flame. Like I'm trying to do like a little. I'm trying to be helpful because obviously that was not. So
Okay, perfect. All right. I'll say that since you guys have a fire in a very cold environment, you can all have -1 stress. And since you ate some food, you can all get a +2 health.
Thank you.
Okay.
I did have a question on the food.
Yep.
It was already a prepared meal, I think, is what it was just needing to be essentially reheated. Is that what it was? A travel meal? The only reason I asked, I have twice baked, so if there's an illness risk with it, then I'd be cooking it a second time, which I'm sure would make Pippet even more hangry.
No, I think it was a prepared meal, right, Pippet?
Yes.
Yeah, you're just reheating it.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
I'll be okay.
So what now? You're all done. You can stamp out the fire if you'd like. What happens next?
Yeah, I'd
Pick
be...
up my things. I'd wipe everything that I've like sat on away.
cleaning up the fire, removing evidence of said fire. If there's any, like, coals left, I'd probably actually just take them with me after they've gone out and cooled, since those will stay here. There's no vegetation, no nothing to bury it in easily. So,
Okay.
I'll just pick them up.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Grizz feels really bad about the story they told. So I think they're really trying to especially like having almost embarrassed themselves down that mountain. I think she's looking around to see if there's something she can do. Is there like, can I like make like a call out to see if there's any animals that might be around?
You'd have to specify what animal. Do you have like an animal in mind?
I just don't know for sure what's around here. I know there was a mystery animal. But...
You can't even see any birds up here. There's nothing.
Okay. I think I just like go back to pretending I know where I'm going. Which, like, I mean, I know a general direction, but I try to look as official as possible, like shoulders back.
Okay, sure. So you're all making your way down now on a slight grade. Coward's Pass. You're noticing that this is much easier, obviously, than coming up Coward's Pass from the south. So time goes by a little bit quicker. You're managing to keep up with each other without a problem, and the black rocks beneath you, the slippery, crumbly, extraordinarily sharp black rocks, suddenly end abruptly, as if there was some line that had been drawn by some entity far beyond your capacity for understanding. And suddenly, there is vegetation. Suddenly, you're in a verdant forest. The trees are tall and strong. There's high grasses, bushes, plants of dubious origin. And as soon as you walk into this place, as you pass the threshold that delineated Coward's Pass from the rest of the world seems to become a little bit darker. The canopy of trees is all-encompassing. And even though there may be some clearings where some pillars of light can still reach, it is still dark, and the sound almost seems deafened in here.
Wow. I don't think I've ever been anywhere like this.
It's quite beautiful, but also, imposing?
Is this the way to Reed's Redoubt?
And I'll pull out the map. I'll pull out the map.
Sure, yeah.
And we'll just check again.
Yeah. So Coward's Pass is not on any map. If anything, there may just be a slight gap in some of the mountains in the Dursta Mountains to indicate that there may be something there, but there's no actual pass on the map.
Path. Yeah.
But there is a forest to the south of Reed's Redoubt.
I think we're going in the right direction. I think. We just need to cut through these forests.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we need to cut through the forest. Well said, Pipit. Yes.
Right there?
And I'm pointing at the map with Grace, and I'm like,
is that it?
That does sure look like it.
Okay. Good.
How close is these forests to what I'm used to as a tapper?
It's still a little different. The trees here aren't the same trees that you can get any kind of sap from. But they are beginning to look a little more familiar. Like, you've seen these trees before.
Are there any particular trees that are higher than the rest? Like, sometimes you see the older, taller tree in the midst surrounded by younger ones. He's looking for a potential place he could look up over the forest.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Here, can you hold these? And he, like, pulls, like, some of the armor plating out to remove the armor before attempting to climb a tree. And hands that to Pipit. If danger happens while I'm up there, feel free to use these. And kind of without asking permission, he just starts scaling a tree.
Yeah, you find this large, sturdy trunk of a tree. It's dense. You can't really get at the meat of this tree with any normal amount of tools. without just a ton of force. And every single time you go to make some purchase in this tree, it's almost like trying to scale a cliff. Like it's hard stuff, this tree. And I would like you to make a climbing check.
Of course. 20.
Fantastic. Yeah, you manage. You're in your element. This is exactly the thing that you have done for years and years. You're an expert, and the rest of you are looking at him just seemingly just walking up this incredibly difficult tree to climb. And you do it with ease. You find your way to the very top of the canopy, just past the rest of the tree line. And you see, to the north, in the distance, what could be a town. You see a river, you see more mountains, and when you turn to look behind, you don't see smoke anymore.
No other evidence, no smoke, no small camp they may have made, nothing like that. That's what I'm assuming, unfortunately.
Make me a detect check.
And we'll do. Okay. $13.
Yeah, you know what? You do see something. It's not smoke, but like a cloud of dust, barely perceptible. In fact, the only way you can see it is the shiny rock that you were climbing on before has been atomized and sort of just dusted up in like a small cloud, and you can see the shimmers of this material, this floating particulate off in the distance back behind you. You could almost miss it if it weren't so just sparkling on the horizon, just over the pass. It's probably about, you estimate, 5 or 6 hours behind you.
Gotcha. I do have, and this kind of plays into what you just said. I've got the bloodhound ability, so if I have evidence of someone moving, I basically have a rough idea of where they're going to be going. And so this kind of confirms, yes, we're being followed, and they're following the path we were just on, and that's the dust they're kicking up from moving in a larger group than us.
That's right.
Okay. All right, then I scale back down to meet up with the others. Okay, we're being followed. Maybe 5-6 hours behind us.
Oh, we need to book it.
Yes,
Need to get lost in the next town.
Speed. Yes.
They're definitely hustling. Yeah, we also did rest a few hours. We kind of gave them time to catch up. But
Should we go through the forest? Would that help?
I mean, we don't have too much of an option. It's kind of a large forest. But I saw the town to the north, I think.
Oh, good. Okay. Awesome. I'm not really good at reading maps. I wasn't sure.
When Leaf says to the north, you just instinctively look that way. But somewhere deep in the tree line, you begin to see the circular form of red. All you see is something glowing, and all you can identify are 2 glowing circles in the distance, behind some trees, through some foliage. You can't make out the rest.
Do y'all see that?
See what? Hey,
Where?
look.
There's something over there.
And I describe that red something when we instinctively start to look north.
What is that?
Don't know, but maybe I want that armor pieces back before we move toward whatever that is. Like, hands
May
out
I
to
roll?
peep it.
Lore to know what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. You may roll me a lore check.
Awesome.
If I have time while they're doing that, I will put the armor pieces back in. I don't know how long it takes to put on, so...
You definitely have time, yeah.
Okay, then I'm sliding the armor in.
Riz, you've
That's
seen these.
16.
You've seen this before. You know exactly what this is. Because the Kasat like to keep them for pets. In fact, the only reason that they're here at all is because the Kasat like them so much. Because they think they're cute. They remind them of their young. What you see in the distance is a creature you know very well, to be called an Indrid. An Indrid is like a large, bipedal, flightless avian creature. They are featherless, but they have sort of like a fur coating their tops and their back. Everything about their entire body is designed to absorb light. If you shine a light at an Indrid, it will just absorb all of that incoming light, with one exception of the space around its two sets of eyes on the top of the head. These two eyes are laser focused on the range and distance it needs to pounce on its prey. There's a circular skin patch around it, which glows bright in the darkness as a way to attract prey. You know that Indrids don't have wings, rather they have arms, these long, spindly arms with what amount to sort of fingers that come out at the end that form these large, bony spikes, and they stab their prey and use this big, flat, hooked beak at the end to rend the flesh right from the bone. They're about as tall as a human being, and you know, Grizz, that they are pack hunters.
Okay, so that's atrocious. And I think Grizz tries to keep calm and just looks at the party. Oh yes, that's an Indrid. There should be several more of them around, considering they're pack hunters. I don't know. They're just milling about.
Grizz says hunter,
They
and
are
I'll
hunting?
say, I'll pull out my glaive slowly.
Wait. I've met them before, this creature. And, the Kasat, they keep them for pets. Let me see. Can I just see what I can do?
We'll be here
Your funeral. Pull out the
if you need
pickaxe.
backup.
Because I'll start to position myself so we can kind of go.
Are we preparing to fight this thing, Pippin, or are we prepared to hide?
No, just if they fight me first, that's it. I'm ready to back. I'm backing away, but I've got my weapon out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm next to Pee-Pee.
But we're not hiding, like we're not trying to be stealthy.
If we have it feels like they see me already, but if they haven't seen me, I am absolutely hiding.
Okay. Well, roll me a stealth check, both of you.
Oh God.
All right.
Let's stealth.
Or a bushcraft check. You can also roll me a bushcraft check.
I'm gonna do
like-
my best.
I like that idea.
Right. Because I don't have bushcraft or stealth. Oh, that's stalk.
Oh,
Is
sorry,
it stalk?
stalk. Yeah, stalk. I'm so sorry, a stalk check.
No, you're good. For me, it's just a flat roll. All right. Let's do that.
Like foliage, leaf is gone.
I love that for you. Me, it's something. Oh!
Oh no. Pippin, you rolled a critical fail.
That's the second one we've seen, I think.
Pippin, that's
That's
the
the
second
second
critical
one.
fail you've rolled in as many episodes.
That's rough, buddy.
You
We
begin,
love.
Pippin, you
Yeah.
begin to hear just the worst sounds, not only from in front of you, but in the distance.
Great.
I think hearing that, Grizz kind of throws a glance over their shoulder. Just, can you give me a moment, please? Just stay frozen face neutral, look straight ahead. Okay. And then I think Grizz takes a few steps toward it in preparation to, like, have words.
Okay. All right, sure. Okay, so just to recap, Pippet, you're hiding. You're attempting to hide. You're just standing there.
I assumed I failed, so
You're just attempting to hide. You're just you're just
it didn't
crouched
happen.
and just crouched. You're just crouched in the middle of this at the foot of this tree. Leaf, you're actually you've discovered with a roll of 17. You've like discovered a bush and like put it in front of you like Solid Snake. You're gone.
Yeah.
And Grizz, you've moved between the cell and the Indrid, which is presumably on its way.
Yeah.
Okay. Grizz, you can see just a very slight, just a very slight shimmer of tall grass, and then just a black void where light should be. And suddenly, about 20 feet in front of you, it begins to stand to its full height, and the circular eyes rise, and you actually now can see the light barely coming through the canopy, glistening off the two sets of eyes of the forward-facing, like, eyes of this predator with its huge hooked beak, and it's looking directly at you. We'll be right back with the second half of Issliss Season 1. Thanks to Logitech for sponsoring today's stream. Click on the link in chat and be sure to join our Discord. We'll be right back just after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of Issliss, episode 11. My name is Veronica Ripley. I'm the creator of Issliss, and I'm really happy to have you here. Big thank you to Logitech today for sponsoring the stream. Again, chat, if you want to check out some of the coolest gear that's being released this year, then by all means, click on the link. It's in chat. It's in the description of whatever thing you're watching or listening to right now. It's logi.gg/nicotine. That's Nikatine. There's the Yeti GX, the Lytra Beam LX, and the Yeti Orb. Don't forget to use code Nicotine at checkout for 10% off. It's a pretty sweet deal. Also, big thank you to all of our supporters here at Twitch, where we stream this show live every Friday at noon Pacific. We've seen a lot of subscribers and a lot of support, so big thanks, everybody. I really appreciate that. You're wonderful. Be sure to follow our Discord server. That's fablescraps.com/discord, and meet up with some other fans of Issliss, or our other show, Enigma Society, which happens every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We're very excited about that. And yeah, we have a merch store. We've got sweet merch now. There's a hoodie and a bowling shirt and sweet mugs. That's merch.fablescraps.com. And you can find Issliss, the quick play guide for Issliss, for free right now at fablescraps.com, along with all of our other links and merch and stuff. All you got to do is sign up for our newsletter, and you can play Issliss at home right now for free. So head over there and check it out. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Grizz, you are standing directly in between Pippet, who's just crouched on the ground, and Leaf, who's somewhere back there. You're not even quite sure. The Indrid has reared. It's standing just a little bit above you, and you can see the red glowing skin around these two sets of eyes on the top, the front of its skull. It's cocking its head at you and staring at you, and you know from experience that this thing has a bead on you. It's trying to decide how much power to give those ridiculously strong legs and talons at the end of them in order to jump and pounce directly into your flesh. What are you doing?
Grizz steps forward, doesn't get too close, gives it like a wide enough berth so it doesn't feel like I'm entering its space, and then I make quick eye contact so it sees me looking at it, and then I do a bow, and I kind of like go back up and say hello. I know that we are in your neck of the woods, and it's lovely to see you. Your plumage is quite radiant. My friends are a bit nervous, as you can understand. You're very powerful, and I was just wondering if perhaps you could help us out. We are looking to get out of this forest safely.
It's all outstanding stuff. Can you roll me an animal persuasion check, please?
While Grizz is doing this, Pippin is just staring at Grizz like I was expecting a sit or something.
What did you get?
I got an 11, which is like not the best.
Actually, because you bowed like that, I gave you just a private +4.
Yay!
Because that's exactly how you handle these creatures. You bow before this horrifying beast, and as you tilt your head up to look, it is also bowing, and its face now is seemingly so close to yours. The rest of your vision appears to be just blackness, utter void, but you can see these bright, shining skin particles just in front of these eyes, and it's basically all you can see, and it's two glistening black eyes staring at you. It's very close to you, and it is also bowing. What now?
My, you're quite lovely. May I touch your nose? And I put one hand out and just see if it like comes close enough for me to give it little scritches.
It immediately shies away a little bit, maybe steps back
understand.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I know, I'm new. My name is Grizz. This, I know, put your glaive down. I know that this person looks quite scared, but it's only because of your beneficence and magnitude. But this is Pippet. Pippet, come say hello. Do a little curtsy or whatever it is that you do, please.
I drop my glaive. Now just slowly stand up.
Is there only one that I see?
You can barely see this one. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I back up towards Grizz, and I do like a little bow, but I'm like,
Hello, magnificent creature.
Yeah, as you do, the creature cocks its head to the side, cocks it back, seemingly instantaneously. All you really see are the two red circles glowing in this dim light, kind of moving back very, very quickly. And you see the Indrid rise up again, rear its whole body. Now it's towering over you, Grizz. And it just goes. And it backs away very slowly. You lose sight of the red eyes, but you can see a black form, slowly recede into the high grass, rear up, and something causes it to jerk to its left, back towards the direction you came, like it smells something. It makes another couple of calls and begins to run.
I think before it takes off,
Yeah.
or like as it's taking off, Grizz calls back, make sure you and your keep are safe. There's predators on the hunt, maybe a few hours behind us. Be good.
Right next to you, Leaf, and another next to you, Pippet, you feel something brush across you, and just the sounds of fading off into the distance, like it was there the entire time.
Simple.
Pippin's getting war flashbacks again. Just ready to
Great job
react.
keeping your cool, Pippet. I was so impressed. Tremendous bow. Quite good. Leaf. A+ on hiding.
I just
we
appeared
did our
out of
level best
bushes.
today.
Oh, hello. Yeah, there was one sitting next to me the whole time. I don't
That
know if
could
it
have
saw
been-
me or not.
Did you
But it
bow?
was-
Did you befriend it?
Oh, I just stayed still entirely. I just knew it was there, and if it knew I was there too, then perhaps we had an understanding.
An equally good choice.
That could have gone very poorly, and I apologize for my
Do you know-
incapabilities.
Do you know how to hide? A genuine question.
I know how to heal and to hurt. That's all I know how to do. I don't normally hide. It's not in my training.
All right. Well, big note is don't just sit in the middle of open ground.
I tried that and I dropped my glaive. I was not aware that we were surrounded by predators.
Well, I think we made some friends, and hopefully they will take out at least a third of that party following us. Fingers crossed. They really
is
are quite
most
sweet. They're
advantageous.
just, they have a.
How did you know what those
countenance.
were? What? You've seen those before?
I have, not in the wild specifically, but the Kasat keep them as pets. They love them. They
Pets?
just, yes.
That was a pet?
Yes, a pet.
I've
I
only
know. It's,
slightly. I'm not a veterinarian, but I didn't know that that's what those pets were. Jeez.
Have you
Okay.
seen a Kasat?
I have, but you pick something cute. I guess cute is subjective.
Yes, especially for creatures such as they, giant spidery things.
Whereas the realization begins to dawn on you that the preserve from Arcadia Farms probably had a lot of Indrid.
We were very, very lucky then.
Yeah.
I don't mention that to anyone
Okay.
because I'm thinking it's maybe going to be flashbacks of my previous terrible story. So Grizz just leaves it alone.
I
On we
think
go.
that was, yep, that's our sign. Let's go.
Okay. You
Yeah.
continue. You all manage to find your composure. You stand up and you begin walking through this mess of brambles and plants and tall grasses, and you get further and further into this canopy, and just at the last minute, like just before it seems as though it's hopeless, finally the trees begin to clear and you find yourself in what can only be described as a meadow of sorts. And beyond, in the distance, far in the distance, you can see in the dying light of this day a town, and there is smoke coming from the town.
What color of smoke? Like, are we talking like, maybe an intentional campfire hearth smoke, or like black, everything is burning bad smoke? Or hard to tell?
It's impossible to tell. The light is
Yeah.
getting dimmer and dimmer, and it's difficult to tell. You could roll me a detect check, but it would be very hard.
I do now have blind sight, so
Okay, sure, yeah.
at
ahead
least
and-
just makes it a little easier. Not good,
Go ahead and
mind
try
you.
try to roll me a detect check. We'll see.
Okay. 10.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah, no, that's
it
fine,
just
that's
looks like
fine.
smoke to you.
Yes.
And plus, your eyes are still healing from the trauma that they underwent. The procedure, the ritual you underwent with the Arcanists was only just like last night, really.
Oh, yeah.
So your eyes are still kind of recovering from this lengthy period of being taken over by Lumen, this disease that you got. And although you do feel healed, it's still your eyes are a little fatigued.
Yeah, I'm tired. Could use a nap or two.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
should go. Let's press forward.
Yeah, looks like the town is up ahead.
Okay.
Any sign of civilization is a welcome one.
As you're
Yeah.
making your way closer and closer to the town, you see that this fire is pretty expansive. There's actually a lot of fire here. It seems like some building might even be on fire. But as you get closer and closer, you begin to realize that this is a bonfire, just a large one in the center of town. And there are people kind of milling around it, almost in silence.
Are any of them wearing fancy robes that are inflammable?
Do we recognize?
It's difficult to tell. If you got closer, you'd be able to tell, or you can make me a difficult detect check.
I'll
Do you
try
want-
to detect.
And while
Yeah,
they're
what
doing
would
that,
it be for a difficult detector?
Just roll me a detect check, and I'll just increase the difficulty of it.
while they're like staring, I might. Do you want me to try to get closer to take a look quietly?
If you won't put yourself in danger, perhaps you could scout, yes?
We have the same visibility at this point. Rolled a 13.
Same.
Okay, yeah, you can't really tell.
Okay. I slide the armor pieces off, put them in my pack. They're not on me, but not easily accessible anymore. Okay, there we go. Try to stalk closer, staying out of sight, trying to use the shadows to my advantage.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to get too close. I just am trying to see, like, basically, just if I can see, say, very interesting, recognizable robes. Or maybe a person in said priestly robes.
You can see several townspeople, but you are unable to identify any kind of robes that they might be wearing. They just appear to be wearing normal townsfolk clothes. Low quality, flowing, kind of the same sort of clothes that you guys might be wearing. Or the same sort of clothes that you might have seen in Arcadia Farms, maybe a little bit nicer just because they're not, like, in Arcadia Farms.
Okay. Yeah, then I just kind of slink back a little bit, and I didn't see any roads. Or the robes, none of those, so I think it just might be a bonfire.
I wonder if they're celebrating.
Yeah, celebrating, or maybe it is that festival. Maybe there is a priest somewhere that's just not seen, but I'd be cautious and I'll do no talking.
Did they look happy?
No.
Did they look especially angry, or just they were neutral?
Are they downtrodden?
It appeared neutral to you, Leaf, but it is dark. It's difficult to tell.
Yeah. It didn't seem one way or another. Happy, no, it wasn't like a celebration, which actually may be a good sign, because it's not. That festival would probably be celebration.
I mean, or people screaming for their lives. Either way, this is good.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. Just normal clothes, but
I concur. Let's not cause any unwanted attention and walk in quietly.
yeah, maybe.
I have a question, though.
Yes.
Would we want to walk into the town and establish ourselves and bed down for the night, or do we want to try to maybe go somewhere a little bit more off the books? Knowing we're being pursued?
Just so that you know, you are all well aware that towns like this absolutely have something called an airn. It's like an inn, basically. There's usually a bar, there's usually rooms to let, and they're usually far better than sleeping outside. They're warm, generally speaking. They have alcohol, a sorba hall. They've got, just a level of comfort that's far beyond whatever kind of shelter you think you could cobble together out here. So you could take your chances out in the woods. You could also go to the Airn, and maybe it'd be better.
Let's go to the Airn and put down fake names.
I think Grizz takes it one step further and uses their disguise skill
Okay.
to just be a person unlike what this mob is probably pursuing.
Okay.
So even if they recognize two of us, all three of us won't be together, so maybe they'll overlook the other two.
Sure. As you walk through the town, it's easy to identify the Airn. There's a big water wheel along the river that runs right through this place. There's a bonfire out in the center of the town. You see some townspeople kind of milling around, and as you walk past them, you can kind of hear a few people jostling, and they say things like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be tonight? And you identify by a sign just swinging in the light wind a place called the Laughing Totson. You enter, and you hear a few people inside in this almost darkened interior with lit by a few lamps, oil lamps. There's a small bar at the far end. You can see that the water wheel connects in here somewhere. You can smell food, and the bartender, the Airn keeper, stands behind the counter just washing dishes.
Would you like me to...
Please.
Absolutely. My name is Jaleese. Don't forget it.
I'm.
Yes, Jaleese and, Steven?
Name's Leaf. Steven? That's. Oh, sure.
Good. So I think I go up to this barkeeper, innkeeper, whoever,
Yeah.
and Grizz has kind of put a lot of like soot and like leaves in their hair, and they've kind of taken down their kind of more kind of updo that they usually have, and they've taken out the visor that they have that they very rarely wear, and kind of put that low over their eyes, and squint and kind of scrunch up their face, and they move up to the person. They say, hello, do you have any rooms available for the night?
The innkeeper's just looks up at you, and just with a kind of a look of a mix of surprise and sadness, just says, "Oh, travelers. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Laughing Totson. We haven't had visitors in a while."
I mean, it's quite a lively and lovely place that you got here. Looking forward to not sleeping on the ground outside for once, you know?
Oh, certainly. Certainly. And how many people?
Oh, just 3. Thank you.
3? Okay. What name can I put down?
Well, I mean, I guess you could put my name down. My name is Susan, but do you need my companions as well?
Just one is fine.
Oh, that's Jaleese, right there.
Oh, okay. Hi. Come on over. Where are you folks from? You want a drink?
Oh, yeah, we'll have a drink. Honestly, we're kind of a bit from everywhere. We're trying to make our way across the countryside. Just don't stay too long in any one particular place.
Sure. Two gents each.
I think I just pay.
Okay. Yeah.
I struggle to think if I even have money.
I still have my vouchers. I've got no money for my
I'm
knowledge.
scared to pull out my vouchers, so I don't.
Yeah. They don't take vouchers here.
Yeah.
Nope.
Dead giveaway.
2 gents. So, Riz, you pull out 6 gents for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you pull out 6 gents, and you just like they clink to the table, scoops them up, puts them in his palm, and then goes down below the bar, and appears with 3 pints of sorbol.
Oh, thank God. Good treat for y'all, right? I think we deserve it after the day we've had. It's been so long. And she kind of gulps it in a way that, like, for the two of you looking on, Grizz is not prim, necessarily, but they obviously have very refined manners. They know how to kind of, dress it down when we're all hanging out, but it's their job to be, very above board and straight and narrow, straight back, all that stuff. But they're kind of hunched over and they're kind of making this like snuffling sound as they just like toss back this drink. Oh, thank you so much. This is fantastic.
Pippin tries
well
to copy
spent.
this accent and goes,
Well, yes, I do declare. And
just tries to take a sip too. Just mimicking Grizz as best as they can.
Well, it's delightful to meet all of you. My name's Hop. I run the Laughing Tots in here. Where'd y'all come from?
We don't take too long to answer, but
Yeah.
Grizz, from your local knowledge, you know that the nearest town to you is probably Nautza. It's like a big city to the east.
thank God.
Well, I mean, we've been kind of here and there, but most recently out of Natsa. Just trying to find a place that feels right, Trying to stay as far as we can from real intense places, but this is nice so far.
He goes back.
Do you like it here?
He goes back to drying these dishes. He's just, yeah. I'm surprised you guys wanted to stay here.
Well, I mean, trying to see the best in any place. It's easier in some than others. When you wouldn't recommend staying here too long, then?
Well,
Just maybe a night?
Just on account of all the stuff that's been going on lately.
What? What you mean? I am a tapper, so I don't really get too much news outside of the
yeah,
trees.
I do declare.
Well, all the disappearances.
Disappearances? Oh my goodness. Just like people getting ripped out of the darkness, or like midday in the road just gone?
You see something come over Hop, and it's like he's in his element suddenly, and he leans over. Just says, yeah. At night. One townsperson for the last 4 nights has been taken. Just in the middle of 3 nights, the last 3 nights. Has just been taken. And it started with one person. And then we thought, well, maybe they just left without saying anything, maybe. We tried to have this like sense of hope, but the next night somebody else was gone. And last night another person went missing. And for the last few nights it's been strange around here. Like something's come over people. Like we have just a lady who runs the general store. Her name's Pick. And Pick came from Nautza a long time ago, and she's got a lot of religious upbringing, and she started telling people that it was religion, that only through praying to the burning God could absolve us of our sins or whatever. And so now people are conducting rituals and pretending to be acolytes of this religion. Some tisk thing. I don't understand it, but everybody here has been in just this weird fervor.
Yeah, I can understand why that'd be a little scary for you. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with having beliefs or nothing, but it does seem terrifying in response to people going missing.
Make me a persuasion human check.
Okay.
I do declare.
Wow. Hey, yeah, and he leans a little closer even. The light seems to dim around him. And he says, yeah, and last week, a couple folks said that way out in the woods they could see, just briefly in the darkness, they could see figures, strange lights, hairless people in robes. And then they were gone, just disappear like they were never there at all. Phantoms.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, we're real simple people, so that sounds, I don't know, it's making the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Was there any commonality between the people that got taken?
None.
You believe in this burning god?
No. No. His eyes narrow a little bit, do you?
I've never heard of it. I mean, like I said, it's important to have some kind of foundation for life, but
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know if that's my way.
Sorry to be the one to bring it to your attention. Would that it would have stayed that way, right?
I mean, my mom always said it's better to have a little bit of knowledge than a lot of nothing, so I'm thankful.
Here's to that.
Oh, that's why those bonfires are outside. We thought maybe y'all were celebrating, but this don't sound like something you want to celebrate.
I do declare.
They've been burning all the town's weevil oil for all nights now, and I have a dark feeling that at some point they're going to start sacrificing people if we don't get those townsfolk back.
And they'd bring anyone back. If you take one out, why would you want to lose two people instead of one?
Maybe their thinking is that they'll send someone out as a gift, as an offering, and then they'll stop for a while. I don't know.
And this has never happened before in the history of this town?
Not as far as I can remember.
Because you'd think a ritual, you do it, more than just the once.
No idea.
Gosh, how grisly. Were any of the people taken out of towners? Do we need to be worried?
No. We hardly ever get out of towners now.
All right.
Normally, it's just folks like yourself coming from Nautza going to Lemuret.
Yeah, we thought this was going to be an uncomplicated trip, but hopefully no one you know or love gets taken. That'd be just horrible, and you've been so hospitable so far.
Here's to all of you. Just takes a big drink out of him.
I do declare.
Your friend all right?
No, I think she's very, very tired.
Oh, all right.
It's been a real long day and not a lot of food in the belly before the Sorba Hall, so you know how it is.
Get y'all something to eat?
Are you hungry, Jalise?
I do declare.
Yeah,
I think all she needs is a good night's sleep.
Okay.
Breakfast, though, for sure.
All right. Yeah, I'll have breakfast ready. Your room's upstairs. It's the only one.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Have a good night, and what's the respect?
I think as we go up the stairs, I just put my hand under Pipit's elbow as though I'm guiding her up the stairs, like she's, a little tipsy, off balance. You're not, but just in case people are looking.
I do declare.
When we get to the room, can I, listen to see how sound these walls are? Do we have real privacy, or is it relative privacy?
You have reasonable privacy. Yeah, there doesn't seem to appear to be any nefarious thing going on with the room. It just looks like a normal room.
Okay, so no one can eavesdrop.
It doesn't seem that way.
That was harrowing.
You
I
did a
thought we
great
had left
job.
the... did I? You don't have to. You don't have to butter my biscuit.
I think
What
that
does that mean?
Sometimes it matters more about what you don't say than what you do. So yes, I think that you did quite well. Yes, it was very good.
Thank you. I'm more concerned about the fact that we're now possibly surrounded by burning god fanatics.
Yes, that is not ideal, to say the least.
Do we need to help these people? Or should we just be concerned? I think we were only heading to Limerat to return this artifact, correct?
Yes, and maybe find better for ourselves. as much as I'd love to, go snooping around in people's business, I also believe that we are out of our depth. If those burning god people are here, they worship the Tisk, so even at best, any kind of Kasat threats I might be able to summon up might not be enough to get us out with our skins intact.
We should hide our robes very well. Maybe we use them if something goes wrong on our night here?
Maybe.
Yes, I think that's important.
We should take watch tonight.
Not
Are
a
you
bad
still quite
idea.
awake? Could I go first? Give you a head start on your sleeping.
I'm more than happy to.
Sure. Feel free to wake me up for the second if you'd like.
Will do. Good rest.
I start to gather my stuff and organize it, make sure all of my tools are properly stored away. Then I'll go ahead and go to sleep.
Okay. The night passes uneventfully until the morning comes. At which point you begin to hear people yelling. And your room, it's kind of stuffy and it's a little muted, but you can hear yelling from outside in the street. Another one! Another one!
Can I see the street from my window?
No.
Is there a window outside of this room, or would I have to go back downstairs into the common area?
Probably have to go down to the common area. You may all, by the way, since you took a little rest in a nice place, you can just recover, I'll say 3 points of health.
Any stress?
You can lose a point of stress too.
I think before Grizz goes downstairs to kind of look around and see what there is to see, they write a little note that they stick, or like they just kind of put in the pocket of each of their sleeping companions.
Okay.
That has their fake name on it so that they don't forget.
Oh, that's smart. Totally. Okay.
Stephen Jalise. And I don't think she changes. I think she just stays in her disheveled looking outfit.
Okay.
And maybe bare feet, so it looks like she woke up from a nap or something like that.
Sure.
And goes downstairs to see, kind of like peek out the window and kind of check out who's yelling in the night.
Yeah. You come downstairs. There's nobody in the nobody in the air, but you walk out to the sort of the entrance area, and as you open the door, you see just several townspeople kind of crying through the town, running and yelling. They got another one. Light is gray. It's early, and you can see dimly in the distance, in Coward's Pass, the remnants of another fire.
So in the streets, just villagers, no one in robes, none of that.
Yeah.
I'll get up and follow out after a short while. And I'll go up to Grizz and say,
It happened again?
It did. There's more smoke coming from back where we came. I don't really know what to ask. I mean, we're strangers. How can we take more than a passing interest in what's happening here without raising suspicion?
If those people were following us, they should be here. In this town.
Well, I think you would probably also know that you've convinced a flock of extraordinarily dangerous...
True. I'm assuming the worst, that maybe some of them survived.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a reasonable assumption, but it's reasonable to expect that it set them back a little ways.
Oh, good.
Tabletop suspicion.
We should keep a lookout regardless, but we need to leave. We should go
Yes.
now.
I don't think this is our problem, and we're really good at getting involved in things that are not our problem.
I'll go get Leaf.
All right. I'll go
I'll go get
just
Leaf. I'll
set
leave.
us up.
Yeah.
So all three of
I'll
you
leave
are-
Grizz on this tree.
All three of you are down here in front of the local air, in front of the Laughing Totson. You're in this town. A few people are walking out of their houses, their buildings, with bleary eyes, kind of wiping the sleep from their faces, to a look of worry or disdain. It's quiet,
Is there-
aside from the yelling.
Do we smell breakfast when we come downstairs?
No, it's a little early.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I think I flagged someone down, one of the criers.
sure. Hey, you got another one.
Hello. Yeah, I heard that. Can you tell me more about who was took?
Hop. It was Hop.
Hop was took? Are you kidding me? We were just talking to him last night.
Just shrugs his shoulders.
Oh my god, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. I seem to be a stand-up guy.
It's gonna get weird tonight.
I ask if I happen to be there. I'll say,
Does Hop stay in the inn at night?
Yeah, he lives there, as far as we know.
and I'll look around at y'all.
We were there
And I'll
all
back
night.
up.
We didn't hear anything.
Well, count yourselves lucky.
Yeah. Oh. Well, thank you. I kind of look over to them and quietly under my breath. Do you want me to look around with their room, maybe?
I think we should go back inside.
I think they too, yeah.
I
think
go
once
back
we're-
inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we're like close the door and everything, I'm like, okay, so this is very bad. And I know I said it wasn't our problem, but maybe it is now. I don't know.
I want all of you to roll me a detect check. Oh, wow.
I see real good now.
Okay. Yeah. You, as you're inside of this building. The light is dim. All the oil lanterns are off. But you, Leaf, noticed something, and you pointed out to Grizz, because just on the floor, you can identify what looks like a boot print. And you find another one. And when you reach down to touch it, you identify just some soil, some dirt, plant, particulate matter. It's something that could easily be just overlooked by anyone else who wasn't particularly aware of what dirty boot prints look like. But Leaf, you noticed something else. And Grizz, you noticed it too at about the same time. There's another set of boot prints, slightly smaller, that aren't dirty. They're just a little scuffed. Being Leaf, you would know to be, these boot prints are like as if someone was forced or led away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
There.
Now that
There
you
it is.
have the scent, Leaf the Hound, you feel very confident that you could follow them.
Well, we could go and find them. I could easily track these. Question is, do we want to?
Do you think if we do find them, it's possible to just skip the glory part and just get right on to the getting the heck out of here part?
We should follow the rules of triage. We get there, assess the situation. If it's beyond our help, we move to the next problem.
Is it on our way? The way I asked Leaf, like, is it on the way out of town? Like,
It definitely leads out of town. It doesn't lead towards Nautza, it just leads out in the woods, away from Coward's Pass.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's amenable.
So I did like pointing the rough direction that it looks like it's going.
Well, let's do this quick.
Yeah, I look to see behind the counter. Is anyone in here, or is it just us at this moment?
Just you guys.
I look behind the counter to see if there's any food or supplies that could be snagged while we're heading out. We already paid for it.
Yeah, you find a couple of prepared meals. There's maybe 4 of them in there.
I'll
grab
take
all
2.
of them.
Okay.
I'll take
Okay,
2
you
off
take
of
2,
you.
then I take 2. Then yeah.
Okay. And you set off after these boot prints.
Yeah, I take the lead. Kind of occasionally sitting like I'm looking to see. It was only the two boot prints, the one and then the smaller one that was probably ours. Does it look like at one point they get pushed more, dragged, or they're like maybe being led?
It's impossible to tell. You definitely know that the one of the sets of boot prints is definitely being led.
Yeah,
forcefully.
so it more I'm trying to see, is it like someone's being led at like a knife point,
No,
so
it
that the
looks more like it's
or
being dragged almost.
dragged. Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, okay, like someone's getting pulled along versus pushed, essentially. Okay, all right. Well, it does look like they were trying to put up a fight to not go. So they did it while they were conscious. It's strange, though.
Well, that means that the captain must be huge.
Not that big, but big enough. It might have been more of a, I'm pulling you, you don't want to go, but you know the consequences if you say no kind of thing. More a hesitant. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go. You follow along the trail. Okay.
Yeah.
You're crunching through the town, and you find that the town criers are getting farther and farther behind you. The sound is diminishing, and you're following these prints through tall grasses, through orchards, through finely tree cover. And eventually, after maybe an hour of walking, you come across a small clearing. And in this clearing, you notice what appears to be a tiny camp. There's like a bedroll, a small lean-to tent, small campfire, and a cage. And within the cage are 4 townspeople. None of them are awake, but you suspect that they're alive.
I think we found the missing people.
We can't be alone, can we?
I'll look around cautiously.
You don't see anybody.
Is there a lock on the cage?
It appears so.
I pull out my pack, put armor on, however long that takes,
Okay.
while they're looking at things, so I'm a little distracted, but I don't like any of these.
Yeah, you do. You manage it. It's easy. You put on some
Okay.
armor. It takes you a few minutes, and you manage it.
Okay.
Now what?
I'd like to carefully look around. Like, are there tents and stuff? Does this look like an encampment of some kind, or
there's
is it just the
couple of
cage?
lean-to tents and a bedroll maybe.
So looking around, do I recognize anything that looks similar to the other acolytes that we
Oh, yeah.
encountered?
Oh
Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So
there's
the ropes
bits
and
of-
stuff are
bits
there?
of cloth and some ropes. Yeah.
I'll move over and start searching through this stuff, seeing if there's a key.
No key. But you find a few things of weevil oil.
I put those in, yeah. Got 3 of them now.
Okay.
do you think that we should put our robes on, or at least I should put my robe on and try to be...
Suddenly you hear
know.
somebody. Oh, who are you? It's Hop. He's in the cage and he's awake.
Oh my God, Hop! We just kind of followed the clues out here to try and
Travelers from
find you.
yesterday?
I don't
we
know
heard
if you
went
need.
missing.
You probably don't need to put on the fake anymore. I think we're past that point. We're rescuing them.
Steven!
Thank you, Steven. You're so helpful.
What the hell are you?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We're here
we
to
just
help.
Wanted to. we wanted to give back.
Get me out of here. Get me
Yeah, but-
out of here. They're
Do
gonna
you
come
know where
back.
Kate?
They're gonna
Is
come
there
back.
Kate?
They're gonna come back. Get me out.
We're
Yeah,
looking
can I
for
try
a
to pick
key.
the lock?
You can try. Yes. That'll
Does it look diesel?
There's. You'll have to make me a mechanics or a chicanery check.
Okay, well, obviously it's going to be that second one. But I am not skilled in it, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, you jiggle the lock a little bit, and with just a couple of light tugs, it actually opens. But as it does, keeps jiggling. And it keeps
Oh.
jiggling.
That's unexpected. I'm a little bit rusty.
And
I'm a little bit rusty.
suddenly, the ground below you begins to vibrate and begins to get a little hot. And you can see a line now emanating from the cage to somewhere. This hot filament is getting brighter and hotter on the inside the ground. It's heating all of the vegetation around you, which is slowly combusting into a large flame circle. The cage is stuck where it's not quite big enough to get anybody out, but it is now catching fire.
Oh no.
I grab my pickaxe and try to just break the
Don't leave me,
cage.
don't leave, make me a might check. Don't leave me.
I'll
don't
do the
leave me.
same.
Make another might check. You actually, Leaf, make a synergy. You use synergy for it if you're both helping. Get me out of
Okay.
here. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
While they're doing that,
the
can
other
I roll to keep
survivors-
them calm?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
11.
Okay. Yeah. Then you manage to you rip open the side of this cage, and people are like clamoring to get out. They're stepping on each other. They're pushing through, but Grizz, you're managing to like get them calm enough to come out one by one, and you're pulling them out and pulling them out.
I assist with a 17.
You see someone in the tree line emerge in a red robe with a look of utter and complete disdain. The robe is open in the front, and you can see a burned chest with a symbol on it. And they're looking at you with every ounce of hatred in their body. They're focused, laser focused on you, when suddenly long, spindly bone fingers emerge from their chest and raise them several feet off the ground. You can see that look of hatred burned into their face as the light of their life fades, and all you hear in the background is
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with another episode of Issliss, Season 1. Big thank you to our cast. Huge thanks to all of our supporters here at Twitch. If you have any interest in tabletop RPGs, head over to our Discord server where we do, if there's a whole community for Issliss fans along with Enigma Society fans. Please be sure to follow us here. Follow our YouTube channel where we post all of our VODs. You can follow our podcast as well on every major podcasting platform. And be sure to check out our sponsor for today, which is Logitech. Huge thank you, Logitech, for sponsoring the show today. If you have any interest in some super cool peripherals and gaming accessories, then check out the new Yeti GX, the Litra Beam LX, and the Yeti Orb at logi.gg/nicotine. That's Nikatine, and use code nicotine at checkout for 10% off. Also, one last point of order. The Fable Scraps Twitch channel has a competition. Call it the Fable Clips Championship, and the person who clips the most popular, most viewed clip in a month gets VIP in our chat for the next month. So we're beginning to wrap up the month, so we look forward to crowning our new champion the very next episode. Big thanks to our cast, and we'll see everybody again next week for another episode of Issliss. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.